The next speaker is Isber Sabrine, Dr. Isber Sabrine, a Syrian archaeologist based in Spain. Isber is a cultural heritage expert and president of the Heritage for Peace organization. He's led efforts to protect endangered cultural sites and to support conflict recovery of heritage, emphasizing a series of community-based approaches. Today he'll explore eyewitness accounts and how protection strategies support local communities as well as heritage professionals. Isber.
Good morning. It's my pleasure being in Ireland for the first time, and I am very honored to participate in this very interesting symposium. Thank you for the invitation and for being here. First, in the last years, I was very impressed how Irish people were very supportive globally. Small country give a lot of, or still giving a lot of support to the countries who are in need. Like we saw the movement of Iran as well for Palestine, and this is really has a lot of appreciation. First, the title of my presentation, Heritage in Conflict, Eyewitnesses, Accounts, and Protection Strategies. I am Syrian myself. I came from a country who's still in war, we can say. I am from minority as well in Syria. In Syria, in the last 14 years, we had a very difficult conflict, and we still don't know how the future of this conflict will be, and also as well the future of the country. Ireland is a very nice, important country as well to see and to learn about reconciliation. I was studying the Irish conflict and the peace process and the reconciliation, and I hope in the future we will learn as well how communities learned that in the end they need to work in peace and to live in peace. And this is what we hope for Syria and for other countries who are suffering conflicts. Before the conflict in Syria, I was having a very nice life, working as an archaeologist and a tourist guide, trying to show the beauty of my country. And I decided that I need to study more the management. Maybe a lot of you know that Syria is a cradle of the civilizations. It's very important for the history. Mesopotamia, Christianism, Islam, many communities, many religions, they have the origin from in Syria. Unfortunately, the war happened, and we didn't expect that this conflict will come through and we will have this brutality of destruction, of death. After 14 years of conflict, almost 50% of the Syrian population is displaced. More than 500,000 died. Infrastructure, entire city destroyed, and the heritage which is the identity of the Syrian people also was destroyed, looted. So with the year, when the war happened, I couldn't believe that this is happening, and I was affected. Even I was not in Syria at the time, I was in Spain, but I was like also traumatized by all of the, not believing how that could happen. And I decided to do something in order to help from outside. So I founded my organization, which is Heritage for Peace. Heritage for Peace is an international group of heritage workers who believe that cultural heritage as a common ground for dialogue and a tool for build peace. So our mission is to support heritage workers indifferent of citizenship or religion as they work towards the protection of cultural heritage for future generation. So we do believe, and this is, as I said, our mission, that heritage is an important tool for peace building and reconciliation. And all our work is reflected on the use of heritage in order to make peace. I will also explain as well our work, how we work as well with refugees and with displaced people. As nowadays we face many big challenges, and we have really believe that all the systems that we have after the Second War is collapsing. The role of the international organization is collapsing. The role of the international law as well. We saw that in the recent conflicts, especially with the Gaza conflict. So the traditional organizations who are working for heritage preservation, like UNESCO and all the other organizations, they were not able to act. So, I'll give you an example. In the war in Syria started in 2011, UNESCO, the first action that did was just after 4 years of the conflict started. And also, we saw as well in many international organizations how politics also is going, you know. So UNESCO, as all other organizations, as well collapsed because a lot of politics from countries who are held the power are controlling. So we need to act. We cannot wait and ask the international community to act because they came always very late. The other reason as well is that in different countries who are facing conflict, the port or the state port authorities, they don't have any training on dealing with heritage. So now, Syria, for example, the state port, which is the Director General of Antiquities and Museum, they didn't have any training. I hope now here in the gallery, you have some plans as well for emergency and crisis, and I do believe that the Blue Shield of Ireland is doing really great job now to start this process. Then something which also we face in the recent conflict is the non-state actors. So in many conflicts now, modern conflicts, there are groups which are controlling the territories, and those groups, they have the power on the territory, but they are not recognized internationally. So the government or the international community, they cannot work with those non-state actors. And those non-state actors as well, they are controlling as well heritage, important sites, even World Heritage sites. Here I mentioned the case of Syria, for example. Syria still divided between different political powers. The same thing as well in Yemen and Libya. So there are non-state actors who are controlling as well the territories and as well controlling the heritage. And all the international convention of heritage protection are dealing with states, not with state actors. So our organization, Heritage for Peace, is working as well to act in territories where are under the control of non-state actors. So a little bit, some background. We were founded in 2013. It's the World Archaeology Conference in Jordan. We work all of these years doing promotion and implementations projects. So we did several projects. As I said, we work using heritage as a tool to promote peace, working during conflict, and also somehow we did also some project in the post-conflict, especially related to reconciliation, and we work with local communities And we try to link local communities with the international as well, or with the international community. So our organization started as a volunteering organization, but with the years, we got, thanks to the work of many, many hundreds of volunteers who helped us. Now, we have people from 9 countries, archaeologist, art historian, heritage consultant, conservation professional, museologist, anthropologist. So I will talk more about our projects in Syria, but also in other countries. With the years, we learned that how we need as well to help other countries in conflict. So we work and we have like projects mainly in Syria and Yemen, but also we do a lot of work for other countries like Iraq, Libya, Ukraine, Sudan, Gaza, Lebanon, and Ethiopia, especially the north part of Ethiopia, which is Tigray. Unfortunately, there are still many unforgotten conflicts. I am here talking about the Tigray conflict and to the Sudan conflict. The Sudan conflict is still a very heavy conflict. Thousands of people lost their life, and we still don't see a lot of news about this conflict. So for Gaza, and in the first months of the conflict, we published our first report about the destruction of cultural heritage in Gaza. And it was very clear in these first months that how heritage was targeted. In just 1 month of conflict in Gaza, we published our report in November 2023. 104 sites, they were destroyed totally. So we are very proud to promote as well in the Gaza conflict, it was a cultural genocide. And it was very clear that Israel targeted heritage sites because they want to eliminate all these links between the people and their ground. And even our report, we were dealing with the International Justice of Court of International Justice as well, to show the evidence as well of the destruction of heritage in Gaza. The same thing as well with other conflict, especially Sudan, Lebanon, Ethiopia, Libya as well. We produced many reports which they document the destruction and the evidence of the destruction of heritage in these countries. So as I said, we were documenting the destruction of cultural heritage in conflict, our main efforts, empowering civil society, organizations, and engaging youth, building capacity for local heritage professionals, and enhancing crisis response efforts. And we launched several initiatives as well in many places, in Syria and also in Yemen. And also we have another initiatives which are dealing especially with refugees and with displaced people. One of our main initiatives as well is a network of Arab civil society organization to safeguard cultural heritage. So our work is working, empowering civil society, and especially in conflicts, in the territories where there are no governments, the role of civil society is huge to cope as well with the medical needs, with the humanitarian needs, and as well with the heritage need. So those NGOs, they need support. So cultural heritage always is a victim in the conflict. You know, in many conflicts, there were destruction of iconic sites, which are registered as World Heritage sites, looting of illicit trafficking. So all the countries in conflict suffered of looting. So museums, archaeological sites, even art galleries, they were looted. And this is a big challenge as well to protect cultural heritage in conflict. And there were damage as well to libraries, manuscripts. And something which is very important is the loss of intangible cultural heritage. The conflicts, especially with the migration and with the refugees, when millions of refugees come to other places, they lost their crafts, their music, festivals, and the cultural and sometimes practitioners of this knowledge. So intangible cultural heritage as well is one of those heritage which are lost. So we also work through intangible cultural heritage to support the well-being of refugees and as well to keep them as well trust by, later I will talk about some of our initiatives on these regards. Here I would like to give you an overview about some of our projects, some of them are ongoing. In addition to my work as the director of the Heritage for Peace organization, also I am a researcher in the Spanish National Research Council. And also we try to use research methods as well to work with heritage protection. So here we designed, through the Spanish National Research Council, an application in which we give them it to local people as well. And it's very easy to use to document the destruction. So very fast they can use this app to document the destruction and as well the objects, especially objects which they are looted or they are in danger of being looted. So through this we create database as well in order to monitor the destruction and also the looting. So for example, we use this Maclennan app as well to document destruction of sites and also destruction or looting of objects. So here a little bit how it works. So you can see we give to NGOs in Syria, Libya, Iraq, Yemen. So through the app we create a database, and from this database we try to control and to create databases in which we show what it was looted or what it was destroyed. So here something which is very important, the looting of archaeological objects and even of art, you know, now is increasing, and the problem, there is a provenance. So the provenance of those objects, sometimes the crimes and many who are bands who are involved on this, they are doing fake documents. So, and it's easy to use fake document for exporting or importing artifacts. So through this app, we hope, and we are still very in the beginning, we are trying to develop it more to create a provenance evidence of the objects. This is some of, just I would like here to show some of our research, how also the research is important. The world was shocked by Islamic State. And Islamic State, it was like horrible news in the last years. So we work to investigate as well the role of Islamic State on looting and trafficking of artifacts. So they used also as well the trafficking of artifacts in order to finance the terrorism. So here, for example, these are the the Ministry of Economy of ISIS in Syria, in Raqqa city, which was the capital of Islamic State. We investigated the archives of Islamic State, and with those archives, we found how Islamic State also was using like this kind of permission to give to the people, and the people, they can go to excavate and found on items, and then Islamic State have 20% of the value of these artifacts. And hundreds of archaeological sites, they were looted and illegally excavated. So we try, as I said, to study this and to make policy of how we can fight against the illicit traffic of antiquities. This is a very iconic picture of a heritage site, very important in Syria, called Abhamea. So our research on illicit traffic and heritage policy protection for heritage in conflict, we do it through the Spanish National Research Council. So in this, what we try to establish an evidence-based account of looting. Now, unfortunately, even in Syria, in Yemen, in all the countries in conflict, all the countries of conflict which we work, they are facing this huge problem. And it's still a big challenge for the international community to combat and to find a solution. So we hope to continue this work. And now, after the fall of Assad regime in Syria, we are trying as well to understand more and to do more research to study the looting and the illicit traffic of antiquities. Another project which we are doing is called Shelter. So in this project, we work with imams. So we train imams on the importance of the protection of cultural heritage. We do believe the role of imams is important in the community. So in some parts of Syria, imams, they played an important role on the life of the people. So this is a project which we bring training of international heritage law, national heritage law, and Islamic law. So there were always these narratives that Islam is against cultural heritage. This is not true. So through this project, we did a lot of research to understand the history of Islam and also the Quran text to show that Quran and Islam is for the protection of cultural heritage. So all of this training, we try to make awareness for the imams to help us on the protection of cultural heritage. As I said, our work is communities. And the community are the key success for the protection of cultural heritage. Raqqa is a city of Syria which has very importance in the last years, especially because ISIS uses the capital of Islamic State. And in Raqqa, after the liberation of Islamic State, we, in 2017, we started, because the country is a city, it was destroyed, it was affected. So we tried to make this project. And since then, we are working in Raqqa. So we created a civil society organization called Trafikatuna, which means that Raqqa as well, city. This is the ancient name of Raqqa. And we train people, especially young people. And since then, we are working on the protection of cultural heritage in Raqqa. You can see this is a photo from my visit in Raqqa in 2019. It was totally destroyed city. And now, one of our last projects is this center. We rehabilitated it. It was like a traditional house, a huge house. And through this house now, what we are trying to do is to make it a community hub for arts and culture and handicrafts. So many young people in this city, they will get here training on doing handicrafts. We are also we work, and thanks to the Cultural Protection Fund of the British Council, we work so closely with the British Council, with our partner as well, Rehabimed. So this center, it will provide young people also the opportunity to learn about traditional crafts, which were very affected. So there are no more handicrafts, men or women. So now we will train them and to return to use this place as a center for handicrafts. This is also another another place, which is an Ottoman hammam, Ottoman bath room. ISIS used it as a jail, and we rehabilitated it. It became like that now. And we are working as well to make it a small museum, as also a cultural hub as well for another city. This is a member city, also in the north of Syria. So now we will make, after the restoration and rehabilitation of this site, to be as a small museum and also as a cultural center as well for the city. Also, artists here, they will be very welcome to do their practice and also to make their exhibitions. And as well, one of the other forgotten conflict is the Yemeni conflict. Here, so little about Yemen. We work in Yemen as well. Yemen is an incredible country with its culture, with its history, with its architecture, art as well. Yemen was suffering now the conflict since 10 years, brutal conflict. Maybe you listen to what is happening recently with that American army attacked Sana'a. But as I say, also heritage is a very big in danger. This is a castle which is was very threatened and destroyed. So in Yemen, here you can see this photo. We work with young students as well, trying to revive the traditional music to support them as well and to support their mental health. So even on all our projects, we always try to engage communities and try as well to use the heritage and link heritage to them. And especially, as I said, the young and the children. One of our main initiatives, here I will talk about it, Palmyra, and Palmyrene Voices. You know, Palmyra is an icon of the Syrian heritage. Even it's an icon of the, we say, to the Roman heritage. Palmyra, it was a big victim during the Syrian conflict. It suffered of terrorism, of attacks. ISIS used Palmyra as well in its propaganda. Iconic sites in Palmyra, they were destroyed. You can see here the Temple of Bel. It was bombed. This is a very iconic photo of the theater of Palmyra, where ISIS made this show. Here's something which I want to highlight. When Palmyra was destroyed, maybe a lot of you remember that it was a big title in the news. But there is something was very, very shameful, that nobody was talking about the people of Palmyra. The Western, they were talking about the destroying of these ruins, because it's belonging as well to the Roman, to the Western culture. But Palmyra as a city, 100,000 of people, they were totally displaced. They were totally as well kicked out of their cities. There were no voice for them in the media and about their suffering and what they have during these years. So we created this initiative, Palmyrene Voices, in order to give voices to those communities, which are 90% of them are displaced and refugees. So the Palmyrene people, since 2015, they were displaced inside Syria and also outside Syria, in countries like Turkey and Jordan. So Palmyrene Voices is a civil society initiative whose mission is to provide a platform for the voices of Palmyrene people to reach the international community, to support Palmyrene people in diaspora in their effort come back to Palmyra and to help them to rebuild their city in a way guarantees their dignity and preserve their identity. So now we work with communities, with refugees in Turkey. This is a project we started in 2020. So we found around 15 handicrafts, men and women from Palmyra, and they started to produce as well their handicrafts, which represent the Palmyrene identity. And through this, we try to create as well as an electronic shop to empower them to sell their handicrafts. And now we work still with them. We have also a project now we are doing with the British Museum in order to document as well the intangible heritage of Palmyra. What I want to say here now, in the next 2 months, we are hoping to go to work on the ground in Palmyra. And the idea which we have now, we try to show what happened to the modern city. We are now working to do damage assessment and evaluation of the damage of the city itself, because we cannot think about rebuilding the ancient city without thinking about the modern city. All of those people, they need to come back. What we are trying now is to raise the needs of the modern city in order to highlight that the city need first the infrastructure, they need water, they need electricity, they need schools, they need a mosque, they need, before to think about rebuilding the ancient city. Because the people, everything is about the people and for the people. And our aim through this initiative is to highlight the needs of the local people. As I said, in the last 2 months, after the fall of Assad regime, we produced this report which shows the reality of Palmyra before and after the fall of the Assad regime. You can see in our website. So again, 90% of the people of Palmyra are outside, and those people should come back to their city and work on the rebuilding it. So now, after 14 years of conflict, Syria is a collapsed country. We face many big problems, but one of the problems as well, who arrived to the power as well, they had a very black history. They were involved in some jihadism group, terrorist group, and we still need really a lot of time to gain the credibility of the international community. I will not talk about politics here, but what I want to say here, we have in Syria still a big problem, which are the sanctions. There are sanctions, so those sanctions prevent the international community to come and to work and to support the Syrian economy, because we have also a collapsed economy. So in our work now, we try to create, first understand what we need and make priorities of actions. Those actions, we need to do mapping, damage assessment, stakeholder engagement, resource allocation, reporting and documentation, monitoring and updating. This is things which are now we are planning. We cannot come to Syria to excavate and do research, because Syria, it's an open museum. Yeah. We need to work on governance reform, so still create a new heritage law, new as well organizations which can work for the heritage protection. Anyhow, as I said, in all our action we work with community engagement. So in every project we have these actions of education. So we educate the kids and the schools about the importance of heritage and how heritage plays as well an important role to support their well-being. We designed several books, and sometimes we use painting and drawing to teach kids in several regions in Syria about their heritage. So they can paint and draw heritage iconic places. To finish, this is very interesting as well initiative we work, which is going with the subject of the exhibition. We have this initiative Abwab. So Abwab aims to work on the use of cultural heritage as an instrument for social integrations and well-being for refugees from MENA region and Ukraine. So what we do, we bring refugees, especially I am talking here in Spain, to the museums, to the concerts, and we try to explain the art, the objects as well in those museums to start a dialogue. So we are all connected, and sometimes, especially in Spain, there are a lot of museums, they have a lot of objects which are related to the Arab culture. So those immigrants, they feel really very proud, oh, I am refugees, when they come and see this is Arabic, you know? So I think, and through working more than 7 years on these initiatives, how really the art and the museums, they play a very important role to integrate and to as well increase the well-being of those people. Those people, yeah, they need homes, they need eat, but culture and can play a very important role. It's not really like for the elite. We can show how as well heritage and museums and galleries, they play really a role for helping and supporting the well-being of those people. So those are some of our objectives through Abwab initiatives. So we work especially from refugees from Ukraine and from Middle East. That's it. Thank you very much for your attention and for your listening.